What is up? You are watching WOLFpak Live, and I'm your host, Wendy Fortino, my co-host, Chris, the real deal Cormier, who is a legendary bodybuilder. And we have an extremely special guest tonight for him, sort of. He's on the East Coast. We have Darryl Mack, DMC, King DMC, the man who took the beat from the street and put it on TV. We have Darryl from Run DMC. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here. I'm good to be here with the legend Chris too.
Thank you, brother. So great to be here, man. I'm excited for this one. This is had a hard time sleeping last night. I cannot wait for this.
This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
How about if we start by taking you down a trip down memory lane, a little highlight reel, and couple warm-ups before we dive right into our conversation. So let's rock to this real quick.
Hey, this is a rock and roll museum. You guys don't belong in here.
I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say whose house, y'all know what time it is. Whose house? Run's house.
Boys up to every perpetrating a fraud. You're out the cold whack to keep the crowd cold bored. You're the kind of guy that girl ignored. I'm dropping you.
That beat is killer.
My name is Joseph Simmons, but my middle name is rocking on the mic. You should all applaud because we're willing. We got a funny feeling. We rock from the floor up to the ceiling.
Hello.
They took my chain.
They did what? What they do?
They took my gold chain.
All right, stay right there. We coming right now. Right now. Yo, Jay, hit it. Let's go.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. It's the tight. Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. To rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. 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 It's tricky to rock around. To rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. 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 Walk through closet doors and roam all over Coliseum floors.
Ask a question about this one.
Stage at Live Aid, all the people gave and the poor got paid. And out of speakers, I did speak. I wore my sneakers, but I'm not a sneak. My Adidas touched the sand of a foreign land. With mic in hand, I took command. Seesaw swinging with the boys in tune. And the feet flying up in the air. Singing, hey, diddle with the kitty in the middle. And we swinging like I just don't care. So to this bitch head at the high school dance with a lady who was ready to play. It wasn't me, she was fooling. She knew what she was doing when she told me how to walk.
That's
she
great.
told me to walk this way. Do this way. Walk this way. Talk this way. She told me to walk this way. Talk this way. Walk this way. Talk this way. Just give me
Your kiss. That's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's crazy about that video is, to this day, everywhere I go, globally, people come up to me and say, DMC, when Steven Tyler took that mic stand and knocked down the wall that was separating y'all, that didn't just happen in the video, that happened in the world. I mean, I've been to South Sudan, Russia, Ukraine, up in Asia, everywhere we go. When that happened, that really changed not just music, but everything.
Oh man, and it's so awesome because it's right. It was just it was actually such a global response to it. It touched a lot. Everyone from the ghetto on up to the highest ranking people in the world. You know, it's just amazing. And I was watching on MTV. I was watching it like daily on a daily basis. You know, I was such a fan of that. And then I was even doing a dance with y'all.
Oh yeah,
I was doing
yeah, for sure. I mean, it gave birth to Limp Bizkit, Korn, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
It gave birth to all the collaboration. It just brought, everybody was separate. Hip hop was here, rock was there, metal was there, but that record brought everybody together to let us know we all actually doing the same thing with different expressions.
Was that the first? Was that the first song that integrated the rock and roll with the rap?
Yep. It was the
And
game.
then
Kid Rock says Run DMC and Aerosmith had a baby. He popped out.
yeah,
So yeah, it was the first one, but it wasn't the first rock rap record. Y'all had it right there. See,
Yeah.
people get Walk This Way was just so big because it was with Aerosmith. It's a tongue twister. The first rock rap record was Rock Box, which was the first hip hop on MTV. So we originally did Rock Box. We was trying to make music like Billy Squier and Korn and Aerosmith. So when we did Rock Box, it was a rock track. It was live guitars, live bass, live keyboards on Rock Box. The only thing that wasn't real was the drums. It was a drum machine. So we did Rock Box in 84. That got us on MTV. 85, we did King of Rock with Larry Bud Melman from the David Letterman show going, you guys can't come in here. This is a rock and roll museum. And then we screamed on and then 86 was Walk This Way. So it was kind of a step. Here's Rock Box, here's hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Nobody think it's going to work. Oh, y'all don't think it's going to work? Then I'm going to call myself the king of rock to rub it in your face. And once they was like, oh, shoot, this might be going somewhere, we came with to Walk This Way to say that because prior to us being able to record in studios, if you would have came to New York in the 70s and you went to a block party or a park party, you would have saw Grandmaster Flash, Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa playing the Aerosmith records. But we would have been rapping over the beats, not listening to the songs. So rock, metal, funk, R&B, and disco. Remember disco, Chris?
Oh yeah.
You know, Saturday Night Fever, when people said disco sucks, hip hop was like, y'all don't want that? Y'all don't throw it away, we'll take it. So we would take all the music nobody thought was worth anything, and we would recreate it. Grandmaster Caz of the legendary Cold Crush Brothers, he said, hip hop didn't invent anything. We reinvented everything.
Everything, for sure. And also, I mean, me and my buddy Darryl Goree, you know, shout out to him. We were big fans of yours, and I even had the jeans. I had the Lee on my legs,
the Lees,
niggas on my feet. I had the
Lees
Lee jeans. I
had to have the
laid out.
Adidas.
I gotta wear that to the. I gotta wear that. That was my outfit right there when I go to the parties and stuff. So I had it all laid out. Man. The Lee jeans.
Yeah, and in different colors. You had all the different color Lee jeans.
So how did that come about? That was just like some.
That was the style. That was the style in New York City at the time. I would say what hip hop did was it was like mock necks and El Pacos and Quarterfields and Playboys and British Walkers and leather blazers. It was kind of like this, Chris. Our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and aunts' clothing, we would take it out the closet and we would create our own styles with it. You know what I'm saying? So everything that people thought was new was actually old, but we was reinventing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is it true that the Adidas record was originally a diss record? And you guys
no. The Adidas record, this is funny, was originally an Angel Dust record.
Okay.
What had happened was, everybody.
Oh, God, this is really good.
I was at a point where my mother was not paying $35 for no Adidas. What people don't realize in New York City, Chucks, which is popular in LA on the web, was popular in New York. It was Chucks, but we wasn't just wearing Chucks. We was also wearing Pro-Keds. The canvas Pro-Keds. Remember Pro-Keds? But the West Coast got Chucks on lock. But we was wearing Chuck and Pro-Keds. Adidas and Pumas, both of those sneakers, was like $30 to $35. So your hardworking parents, mother and father, wasn't paying $35 for you to go play ball, run around. And only the people that had only the kids that had jobs and the kids that sold drugs And the kids that did stick-ups and rob houses, they had 3 or 4 pair of Adidas and Pumas. So my mother wasn't paying no $30 for me to wreck the sneakers. So in New York City, the Pumas and the Adidas was like the upper class sneaker footwear. You wasn't playing ball in your Adidas and Pumas. You played in your Chucks and your Pro Cats. When it's time to go out to the party, you put the Adidas on. But what happened with the Adidas song is Run's brother, Russell Simmons, was on 25th Street and he smoked angel dust. And we was down at my end of Hollis, 197th Street. So the kids from Hollis came up to Run. Yo, Run, you got to go get your brother off the corner, man. He smoked dust and he's up there dusting. So we run up to Russell and he's up on the corner going, guys, you got to make a record and it has to start my Adidas. And I was like, okay, Russell, let's take you home. No, listen to me. And he just kept saying that over. So eventually we got him home. Yeah. So when we was in the studio, when we was in the studio working, Jay put the beat together. Yeah. And Jay was like, yo, remember that idea Russell had when he was dusted? He was like, we should do it. So we did it. We didn't. The other thing is, Wendy, we didn't do it to get a deal.
Yeah.
We did it because we was doing records about things we love.
But you did get a deal.
Yeah, 3 months later, Adidas heard about it, and Adidas was like, okay, what is this thing called hip hop? What is this thing called rap? And what in the world is a Run DMC? So when it happened, they sent a spy from because the Adidas North American USA office is in LA. Yeah. So they sent a guy named Angelo Anastasio to go investigate and see what this Run DMC record is about. So Wendy, he came to the Run DMC Raising Hell show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So when we did that record, it was 20,000 people, everybody with Adidas. And when Run said, D, take your sneaker off and hold it up. And I did that, the whole garden did it. So that's when Adidas saw, whoa, we didn't know this before. So about a couple of weeks later, we got a deal.
See?
Man. Yeah, so I'll always tell the kids now.
You were an early adopter influencer.
Yeah, exactly. And y'all know that from the movie. Michael Jordan was a fan of Adidas. He wanted to go to Adidas. Mm-hmm. So all this was happening. Adidas is stupid because Michael Jordan goes to them and they tell him no. So he ends up over at Nike.
I saw that in the movie.
Yeah, he ends up at Nike, but Adidas was still in a good position because what we did was we changed marketing and promotion, and we took Adidas from a sports apparel company to a fashion company. Yeah. Like Adidas need to write us a Michael Jordan check.
Yes.
Right. We put it on the map.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Man.
I have go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, just growing up, in the hood and having I mean, it just meant everything to us. I mean, how does it feel when you like even so many years later, people start running with the, run. They start using we run the West or we run the East or it's all comes from Run DMC, yeah.
Well, it's good to be. I think we was put in a position where we was representatives of all the hoods. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that was, hip hop came out in New York. Hip hop inspired me in Run and Chase. So it's the real pioneers and legends of hip hop is the boys and girls that created it from the Bronx. But what Run DMC did from the East Coast to the Midwest to the West Coast, we created a culture that, Chris, when you're in LA, you look at TV and you listen to music, you see yourself. If you down south, you see yourself. If you up in Wisconsin, we created something where the youth of our generation, throughout all the trial and tribulation, you could see something and you could identify, man, I could be anything that I wanted to be.
I could do that.
Because it's crazy, like you said, like you was telling me, you was at the early Uncle Jam's Army
Uncle Jam's Army, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the culture, everybody had the culture, but Run DMC became the unifying representation of whether you was from the West Coast, whether you was from the South, whether you was from New York. We became the representatives of all of y'all because we were the ones that was on TV representing y'all. So when we look at that, it's a powerful thing to be put in that position because even like when you think about Dougie Fresh, Remember a couple of years ago, the young kids was doing the dance called the Dougie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was stuff that we created when we was young, having fun, that still is able to have an impact today.
Yeah, and Uncle Jim's Army, that was actually that was a Saturday, June 16th,
That's
1984.
crazy.
Oh man, you got the receipts. You got the receipts. Hey,
1984. Yeah, so yeah, it was amazing, man. And I used to post to my house, you know, because that's like when you come out, you like this
you
is
gotta let them know.
house.
Yep, you gotta let them know. For sure.
You gotta post to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then that King of Rock, like all that stuff was like, it just meant a lot to so many sports, so many kids.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
every situation.
It crosses over everything. Yep.
Everything.
It transcends.
And then MTV, watching guys on MTV so much, and you know, and all through the years, man, it's just so amazing to watch the whole thing from the start to the finish.
Because it was us on TV. Because I always talked about this too. And black people, white people, rock, metal, punk, even pop music. When we was younger, Chris, remember Saturday morning it was Soul Train and American Bandstand.
Oh yeah, that was it.
12 o'clock, you watch Don Cornelius,
Yeah.
and then you see Dick Clark later. So hip hop was able to take all of that, and we was able to become that. We never thought, you know, because before us it was Parliament Funkadelic and Al Green and Marvin Gaye and all of this. So those were our idols. So those were the people that we were looking at. But once we was able to get on MTV, we was able to say, man, I got to do this thing right, because I remember what Stevie Wonder did for me. I remember what this guy, you know, sort of like in bodybuilding, the people that you look up to, Chris, you're going to carry, you're going to work with integrity and be like, if you ever get to meet that person, you want them to say, yo, I love what you're doing. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like even like, you know, nowadays you can, you know, just write some of your favorite you know, people that you look up to. I mean, for me to look up to Lee Haney like I did, and to want to be like Lee Haney, you know. So that was always so amazing for me, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's the same thing with all genres.
You opened for Marvin Gaye, Parliament, and you were telling a story about how you showed up and you were just you and your crew, and you just showed up with your records
and records, because we would show up.
Tell me about that.
And well, we would show up to the sound checks.
Yeah.
Because you remember, it's no video, no album covers, or nothing.
Yeah. So they didn't recognize you.
Tapes and the record. So they knew the record was on the radio, but they didn't know who Run DMC was. So we would show up at the venues, and it's me, Jay Run, Larry Smith, our producer, and they would always ask us, oh, y'all on the show? We'd be like, yeah. They would go, where the band at?
Yeah.
And we would put Jay standing there with turntables and the records. And they would
like, that was on the radio, and they're like, you're a band, aren't you?
And we was like, you know, we're a band that plays records. They could not believe it. So we was opening for Parliament Funkadelic, Al Green, ZZ Top. So in the beginning, we only had like 20 minutes. So we had 20 minutes to prove ourselves. So we would go, they would rope off the stage. We don't go over here. This is where Marvin stands. And like, so we had limited time and limited space. Yeah. But Jay, remember, Chris, Jay would go out there first and start the show. Yo, my name is Jam Master Jay. I'm a core runner. He would call us out with the turntable. So that would drive the crowd crazy. And it would be like, there was some shows we would do when we was leaving. The crowd would go, yo, could y'all go back and do that one more time? We don't know what y'all just did, but we think we like it. So it was like, you know, introducing ourselves to us. But, you know, at first it was like, you don't have a band. You're not playing real music, this and that. But it was music. It was just music that was already recorded. Mm-hmm. So the thing that helped us get over the hump was we was using sampling or making some good music. So even though you didn't like the hip hop thing, if we sample in Chic's Good Times, you're going to pay attention. So now the music got your attention. Now we can say what it is that we need to say. But it was phenomenal to be opening up for Marvin Gaye and Parliament Funkadelic, of the Barcades, Confunction. Like we opened for a lot of classes. The Gap Band, remember the Gap Band?
Yeah, Gap Band.
All of them. We opened for all of them. It's so crazy though. We opened, Run DMC was the opening act for New Edition.
Wow.
because they were so big. We was the opening act for New Edition, Bobby and Mike and all of them. I remember all those shows like yesterday. And yo, Chris, when we would come to LA, Uncle Jam's Army was the headliner. We was the guests of Uncle Jam's Army. Right. And then when we started doing shows in the like the West Coast, we do Oakland, San Diego. Remember the Egyptian Lover? Oh yeah. We toured with the Egyptian Lover for a whole year, and he was the headliner. Because he was so big.
I know, man.
Remember the Egyptian Lover?
We put that music on you, like everybody. Yeah, like, oh, that's it. That's it.
We Run DMC. See, people don't know this. All y'all out there in LA, Egyptian Lover, he was the opening act. He was the headliner.
Egyptian Lover.
Shout out to the Egyptian Lover.
Egypt is a place to be. All right.
Did you get nervous at all, ever?
Scared to death.
I was going to say.
To this day, I'm still scared to death.
Really?
Like scared, yeah. You know, we know we like it.
Yeah.
You know, so we know why we like it, but you know, if we was in a familiar area, it was cool. Like when we was with Uncle Jam's Army, we felt cool because they were DJs and rappers too. But it was just about, okay, Uncle Jam's Army was bringing us to LA to play in front of their audience.
Yeah.
But as soon as It's Like That would come on, It's Like That, and the audience would go, oh, that's who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't know what we looked like, right? They knew the songs. And they look at me running J, we coming out with Adidas, because, you know, the styles was different. Yeah. But once the music dropped, they was, oh, that's the Run DMC. Oh, well, we love them guys. But to this day, I still get nervous, which is a good thing.
Oh, wow. So how did the group ever form? Like, how did you were you
Run, Run, people don't know this. Run was already a professional rapper at 15. Run was the protege of Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
Curtis Blow
was the first, right?
Yeah, Curtis Blow was the first rapper signed to a major label. Everybody was on like Sugar Hill, Profile. They was on these independent labels. Curtis Blow was signed to a major label, Mercury Records, which was huge. So Curtis Blow was like the superstar of this hip hop thing. So Run was Curtis Blow's protege. He was DJ Run, Curtis Blow's disco son. So he came up under Kurt with, you know, when Kurt had the breaks, Christmas rapping, all those records that he had. Yeah, remember those? So Run, So Run was always, yo, Russell, let me make a record. But Russell was like, yo, you only 15 years old. I ain't letting you make no record. So Russell told Run this, here's the deal, school diploma, and I'll let you go in the studio. So Run was like, oh, okay, I remember that. So 15, 16, 17, Run came with their high school diploma. Russell had to let him go to the studio. So Run originally was a solo artist.
Yeah.
Run was Run the MC. So when Run got the record deal, he remembered his friend Darryl from Catholic school in another class that had the dope rhymes. So Run calls me up and say, yo, D, we're going to form a group. Bring your rhymes. So we still wasn't a group officially because it was just it was Run the MC. So he was putting me as a guest on his record to be in the group. Okay. It was fortunate that the initials of my name was DMC.
Yeah.
So when I got in the group, Russell said, oh, this is good. Because Russell was thinking, if I don't work out, he could still be Run the MC. And it ain't got to change. So me being Run DMC, my initials, it helped. Because Russell didn't want me in the group at first. Yeah. When we dropped, It's Like That and Suck MCs, and he saw that it was a national
chemistry, man.
Yeah. Once he saw it was working, he was like, okay, y'all can be a group. And that was 1984. Well, we made the record in 83. It didn't come out to 84.
Yeah.
Dang. So that means rap started mid 70s, late 70s.
Yeah. Like some people debate. Some people say early as 69, but they go with 73 because the Cool Herc party in the Bronx was the one place 10 or more people could verify that it happened. It was happening before that. But Cool Herc's party was the one time where Kirk had the turntables. He was doing these parties. And originally, it wasn't no rapping. Originally, it was the DJ playing the breaks and the dancers, the break dancers, because the dancers would only dance to the breaks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At a typical party, people would dance the whole party. You play the records from start to end, all the R&B people were dead. When Kool Herc came to the party, he was a different DJ because he only played the break parts. And every time he played the break parts, the break dancers who would only dance to the breaks hit the floor. And then what would happen was Kool Herc would DJ, the breakers would hit the floor, and then people started picking up the mic. But originally, the rapping was this, Wendy. Hey, yo, Ralph, man, your mother's downstairs, man. You got to go home. Hey, yo, Melissa, can you go move your car? You're blocking the fire hydrant. Originally, the rapper was the master of ceremonies. He was just he or she was the spokesman. But then it evolved to my DJ's better than your DJs. I got more rhymes than you. That's when the rap. But the original rapper was just to say, "Yo, Melissa, your mother's here. You got to go home."
So that's and Melly Mel comes to a lot of bodybuilding shows. I see him.
Mel's Mel's specimen. But Mel was always into fitness.
Yeah, for sure.
Him and LL, cats like that.
Him and LL, for sure. LL, So back then, so Wendy, you don't know this, but this was more like it was.
School me.
More like, this was like the neighborhood music. It wasn't like a broad band of
it wasn't for the radio.
No, it was all.
There's no auto-tune.
No, but I'm saying it was all black people listen to this type of music.
Yeah.
Run DMC basically they blended the color lines to where they went past that and made
together.
And then whites was partying with blacks and they were loving the same stuff. But that didn't come along till Run DMC, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was scared to do it, but if people forget, Blondie made a rap song before Rappers Delight. Rapture. Everybody's out. And the reason why she did that in New York City.
I remember that.
They're like, okay.
Rapture. And she rapped on it. If you would have came to New York in 78 to like 88, and if you went to the club, you would see Blondie, Madonna, Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, Basquiat, the artist, Keith Haring, Nelson George. So it was writers, journalists, filmmakers like Spike Lee, DJs, MCs, rappers, breakdancers, graffiti artists, designers, novelists. It was all New York City in the 80s was all the creative people.
Yeah.
All hanging out, listening to the same music. So we knew that existed. So it was our responsibility that when we get into the music business, we're going to bring that culture with us.
Yeah.
Because it was like white people listen to rock, black people listen to hip hop. That's not true. First of all, none of this music, none of the music, the blues is the roots. Everything else is the fruits. So none of this metal, hip hop, pop, R&B, rap, none of this exists without the black blues artists who originate all gospel. None of that is without the early black blues artists. They create. Steven Tyler and Aerosmith will tell you that. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards would tell Elvis Presley would tell you know what I'm saying? Little Richard, they stole all of his shit anyway. But before Little Richard, it was all a black
Poor
blues.
Little Richard.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, man, that was
that's why we wasn't ashamed to use that music to do what we do. We knew it started with them. And by us using it, it was like paying homage. Like nowadays, a lot of these rappers don't even know, like, how you going to be involved, Chris? It's like you not knowing who Lee Haney is.
Right.
But a lot of now, it's crazy, right? It's like for you to be doing like, but in sports, music, there's people that don't care about those things.
Yeah.
But those are the peoples that is not as well respected.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chris, I've got to know who Lee Haney is. He inspired me.
Yeah.
So for us, okay, we doing this rap thing, but we damn sure know what James Brown did for the community and what he represented it. And nowadays, these kids, they don't know. And
they don't. They're not trying to know.
Right, exactly. And that it's a disconnect. It's not their fault, but it's disrespectful for them not to try to know. That's where the disrespect is.
But you know what's really cool about that is I've seen the evolution of your lyric, because you're a really good storyteller, and that's one thing that's so amazing about your music. But there's a lot of storytelling, and your storytelling evolves. And you know, from your early days of music writing, and then like the middle, talking about sucker MCs, and then as you continue to evolve, you're telling stories and you're expressing this. You know, Chris, maybe he's expressing how he feels on stage with posing, but you know, you're expressing your story as you go through your past, and you're still able to do that, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you got to be able to grow and evolve as you are. Yeah. But your foundation is the thing, knowing where you came from.
Yeah.
So nowadays, when I'm talking about stuff, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about mental health. You know, I can't rap about drinking 40s anymore because I've been sober for 20 years. So now, with the same ego, I'll talk about being sober with the same attitude that I talked about being high. You know what I'm saying? And your creative expression at whatever time or whatever period you are during your journey, it gives you the right to present, be, and say what it is, who you are. Like some people is like, I wanted to give positive messages in hip hop the same way people portray negative messages in hip hop. Like while other people was rhyming about gang banging, shooting, and selling drugs, I was rhyming about St. John's University chicken and collard greens.
Right.
But the reason why you had to respect it was the way that I said it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So as me evolving on my journey, I'm not going to be 60 talking about what I was doing at 18, but I'm going to talk about things I'm doing at 16 with the same attitude that I was doing it at 18.
Man, that's just awesome. I just can't, I mean, just the way you guys just, I don't know, it's just like you just had the world in your hands, the way you performed, the message you sent, and it's all positive message. That's right. The way you guys did everything was so positive.
We had to portray it with that power and, you know, delivery. It's like, you know, especially when you think about the younger kids, they get told by the parents and teachers, you need to go to school, this and that. But if you say that the right way, I'm DMC, in the place to be. I'll go to St. John's University. Since kindergarten, I acquired the knowledge. After 12th grade, I'm going straight there. Pay attention. And then they go, whoa, that's cool. Maybe I could do it. It's not about being preachy. It's all about showing people you can do it, and you can do it your way too.
Yeah.
Like so if I did it, you can do it.
Yeah, listening to that, like I'm going straight to college. We were like, it was a group of us, you know, we called ourselves the fellas, but we were listening to your music. That we all wanted to go to college.
Right, exactly.
We heard that. I want to go to college. I cut my hair and shit. I said, I want to go to college.
Right, for sure, because it made it cool. Yep, it made it cool.
Yeah.
And the reason why I did it, why I was able to say it on the record, Kool Mo D. Remember Kool Mo D and LL had their little battle?
Sure.
Kool Mo D, when he was part of a group called the Treacherous Three. He had said in rhyme, he said, once a nobody from the neighborhood took a hop to the top because I knew that I would excel over the rest because I make progress. I don't consider it luck because I'm not blessed. I got my life all together, love the way that I live, go to school, know I'm cool and I think positive because it's a right to have fun, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, he was 19, 21 years old. He was in college. And when he said that, I was like, wow. So it made me say, okay, going to college is just as cool as being in the gang. It's just a different scenario. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop allowed us to utilize certain ways to, it was all about inspiring and motivating.
Yeah.
And making the people say, let me figure out how I could do what it is that I want to do.
Yeah.
Man, how did Kool Mo D put that Jeep on top of that Kango hat on that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know, hip hop is very competitive.
Yeah. And to rise to the top. Okay, so speaking of that, I want to watch this mini clip and to get both of your response to this.
It's cracking. Okay. It's your homeboy Ice Cube, West Coast Warlord, Grand Wizard, Self-Made Kool-Aid. My first record I ever bought with my own money was the first Run DMC album. I think the record cost $7.99, and I had about $3-4, and my man had about $4. And we bought the album. It would be at my house for 4 days and at his house for 3 days. I'm telling you, like clockwork. When it was my turn, boom, 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 boom. Give me the record, man. To me, Run was the dopest MC on the planet. It's like Run DMC saying what the hell they want to say, why we can't. And so when it was our turn, we did what we were supposed to do.
So that was the
Right.
baton handoff.
That was just what we was talking about. To make Cuban say, man, I can do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I can do it too. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Exactly.
How did you feel about that next generation that kind of they paid you homage?
No, through the whole time. I mean, Pac, Biggie, NWA, Wu-Tang, all of Buster, Eminem, all of them was like, cause of y'all.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, well, thank you. Like, because, it's inspiration is a two-way street.
Yeah.
If I say, Wendy, you inspire me, that's going to make you do more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a two-way street, and you'll keep giving it to me because I just gave it back to you. So for those guys that do that, it was like, it was like, I just saw something. Ozzy Osbourne just performed his last show ever with Black Sabbath over in England yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And Ozzy Osbourne met Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And the words Ozzy used when he met Axl, because you got to understand, Ozzy's older generation, but he said, man, it was such an honor and pleasure to meet this legend. So imagine Axl Rose standing there and Ozzy Osbourne's calling him a legend because Ozzy is the reason why Axl's doing what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful thing. And so that's what Ice Cube just did to me. Like, what the hell? But you're Cube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
man.
And I think that's the real beauty of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's the real beauty of hip hop. But, even though it's being competitive, it never should get to the point where it's not that serious where we got to take a life over it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You battle it out on record. And then after, if you win, Chris, if me and you battling on records, and if you win and the whole world just watched us battle for 3 years, you know what's the best thing for us to do? Let's go on tour together.
Bring
all the people together. I mean, that's what. It's so huge now. But imagine if Drake and Kendrick went on tour together.
Oh,
and say, it was fighting and this and that, but we all should be together. It's about elevating. Standing on the shoulders of each other.
Yeah, what I'm saying? And Kendrick is going around on a hell of a tour.
Yeah, he's killing it right now.
He's breaking records and
exactly.
I mean, whole stadium. Them two together, man. Oh my God,
that'll be crazy.
And
it has nothing to do with money or not. It's a statement for our culture.
Yes, it would break every internet.
Like look, Run DMC,
everything.
Run DMC. When we were the Kings. But when we toured, we had LL Cool J, the Beastie Boys, EPMD, Eric B. whoever, and a lot of those guys were more popular than us.
Yeah.
But even though we were the Kings, we put them on. We wasn't scared to say, take the stage.
Yeah.
There was a tour, 1988. It was Run DMC, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Big shout out to my man Will and Jazzy Jeff and my man Charlie Mack. It was Run DMC, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim.
Right.
All on the same tour.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just, and Public Enemy.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine you got to see that show together.
Public Enemy.
Wow.
Yeah, PE. So it was just all about all of us inspired each other continuously.
Yeah.
And speaking of inspiring, like I let you know that you inspired me from the neighborhood. You look up to people, whether it's good or bad. You look up to the people in the neighborhood, and they got the muscle, and they get, I want to get like that.
Yeah.
But I saw you in Gold's Gym years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was just like so surprised to see you, and I was like, I didn't know you was into training like that. Yeah. And then we said hello and stuff like that. But that meant a lot to me, man, because like I said, being able to use your music in my posing and different messages, like you gotta, you come there, you mean business. You're going against this guy, a rival guy, like this is my house. This is my house. Right?
Exactly.
So all that stuff mattered, man. It was great to see you in Gold's Gym Venice.
Yeah.
And then yeah, man, we got to get a workout in one of these days.
One day, yes, for sure.
We
Next
gotta
time
do
I'm
that.
in town, I'll hit you up next time I come in.
Yeah,
For
I got
sure.
to get your contact, man. That'd be
Will
awesome.
do. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Wendy, give them all my contacts.
I will.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
for sure. That's what's up.
All right, here's another one I want to watch real quick.
Get into rap. I wanted to rap like Run DMC. I wanted to rap like New York rappers. My boys would say that other shit, talking about these criminal rhymes that I would say. It was like, oh, y'all want to hear this shit? This is what I do. Press said it's gangster rap.
Gangster rap, the rap style of a ghetto world where everybody's got a gun, women are bitches, and shooting cops is fair game.
Ice-T, but see what people don't know about Ice-T. Ice-T was in New York City with Grandmaster Flash, with Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, with Curtis Blow. Ice-T was in New York City while the New York City scene was popping. We discovered Ice-T because he used to always play the clubs that we would play at. And he would come up to us and be like, yo, man, I'm who I am because of Run DMC. He said, you know, I'm coming from a different point of the culture and stuff like that, but I'm doing this thing because of y'all. And one of his first phenomenal records was 6 in the morning.
Oh yeah,
the song
6
in the morning out the door, you know. So we was blown away when he came with that. You know, and I remember Ice-T, you know, he was like, you know, he was in the streets or whatever, and he said he came to Run DMC concert, and he said, yo, man, Run DMC doing this hip hop thing on this rock and roll level. And then Ice-T was like, yo, you can get some money with this too? And ain't got to worry about bullets flying over your head and stuff like that. So then once again, even though you heard him, Ice-T wanted to be Run DMC, but when we met him, he inspired us to elevate our game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, how you felt when that came in.
No, it was crazy. Ice-T, Cube, they never wanted the glorification of what they was talking about, because what they was talking about was no different from what Curtis Mayfield or Gil Scott-Heron was talking about. It's just that the media tried to say what we were doing artistically was the cause of the problems. No, the cause of the problem was all of the politicians and so-called political people in power not caring about people from our community. So we was just broadcasting what was really going on. Like Chuck D said, hip hop is the CNN of the streets.
Right.
But once again, once you broadcast what's going on, in the same way you could broadcast the bad, you gotta give the solutions or alternatives to the good. Like when you look at the message, it's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder. That's talking about the struggle. And then Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force came with Planet Rock. Rock to the planet rock, don't stop. We know a place where everything can be good. So you can give the situation, but hip hop is about giving the vision. And people don't understand, like when we say, if there's no DJ and if you see some and there's no DJ actually DJing, that's not hip hop. That's somebody rapping for the sake of success in the music business, the recording industry. It's not hip hop. It's just somebody rapping their record. Hip hop is, okay, I'm rapping on a record, but I got my DJ really there doing the cutting and scratching. You cannot call it hip hop if it doesn't involve all the things that are the contents of the culture. Like you can't go to a jazz show and see a guy playing an upright bass and everything's like electronic. He might be playing jazz music, but it's not jazz.
Do you see anyone really mixing records anymore though? Like real, like how you?
It's underground. The beautiful thing about it is underground. So if the music business ends tomorrow, hip hop still lives. if the music business ends tomorrow, hip hop is even in a better situation because now that little kid in Albuquerque, New Mexico, doesn't realize I don't gotta be like Drake, I don't gotta be like Kendrick, I ain't gotta be like Rakim, I ain't gotta be like Ice-T. I could be me. So once they get that permission, they're gonna come with some new flow, new rhyme, new concept, new sound. But everybody's now is just trying to get the bag, which is good. Get the money. But hip hop used to do this. It used to elevate. Now it's just spreading out because everybody's doing it. So for even me being an OG in the game, I remember I was in Cleveland one time, and it was like a open mic night for this new generation and stuff like that. So you had everything there from Drake to Lil Baby to Future and the auto tune and all that, Wendy. So now I'm like, I wanted to go on in the middle, and sometimes I'd rather go on first because you in trouble coming after me. I don't care if you're hot. I don't care who you are. You in trouble coming after me. But just to please the promoter, because the promoter was a fan, he wanted me to go on last. So I go on last. And the young kids, they probably like, I would say 18 to 21. They standing there like the whole time like this at me. For my whole 30 minutes, right? But when I came off stage, they came backstage. And they said, yo, OG, man, you put it down harder than the youngins of this era. Because what it was, they heard their mothers and fathers talking about what I was doing when I was their age. But to see me at 60 still doing it, they was like this. So they had to come up and give me props and say, yo, okay, I understand what my dad was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Do you still speak with Run, and do you still...
No, the last show that me and Run did was 2 years ago at Yankee Stadium for the Hip Hop 50th concert. Because here's what I say to people. They're like, yo, y'all should do record and tour. I say this, people get it. Run DMC will get back together when the Beatles get back together.
Right.
When that happens, then that can't happen because you don't have George and John Lennon. Run DMC was Run DMC and Jam Master Jay. If me and Run was to get back together, we would have to come up with a whole new group name and a whole new presentation. What I mean by that is David Grohl didn't keep Nirvana going after Kurt Cobain. He started the Foo Fighters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody that lost somebody, you can't keep the thing. Jay is part of Run DMC.
Right.
So if we was to go, yo, Run DMC, Run and D and Grandmaster Flash are doing a record and touring, we would have to come up with a new name.
Yeah.
Right.
But it'll be, it's the two members from the band Run DMC who are now touring with Flash as.
Right.
Like even with Tom Morello, when they had Chris Cornell, rest in peace again. Chris Cornell, they went from Audio Slave to Soundgarden. So every time they changed the band, they changed the name because you don't want to disrespect. Like even me and Run right now, there's no way me and Run are touching Run DMC and Jam Master Jay.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, he is sorely missed, man. I mean, rest in peace.
I mean, he inspired Dr. Dre. He inspired he inspired all the DJs that exist from the dirty South to Houston to LA. Jay was 1984 inspiring all of those guys, not only just to be DJs, but also to be producers.
Right. Yeah, and I got to know Dr. Dre from Gold's Gym actually also before. But did you guys ever collaborate together with?
No, we never got to work with Dr. Dre, but we did open up for Dr. Dre and on the Up in Smoke tour in the 90s. Remember when we put out Down with the King, Chris?
Oh yeah,
just like I put Down with the King. Yeah. So, Suge Knight, Dre, Snoop, and all they had us on that tour with them. We was like the OGs on the tour. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, man, that's what's up.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
We never got to. I never got to work with Dre. Maybe it'll be in the cards one day.
Man, that'd be
going strong. You're still going strong.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to drop a new record very soon. Some of the people on my record, Joan Jett, Sammy Hagar, Ice-T, Chuck D, Jazzy Jeff. I got Chuck D from PE.
All right,
yeah. I got some new great music getting ready to come out.
Okay.
That's great. It's great to see you still plugging away. I know
I love it.
I know you said I won't stop rocking till I retire.
And I got my kids' book.
All right, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I got my kids' book. It's a story about me in the 3rd grade wanting to say my poem. So it's a great way to teach kids about bullying and believing in yourself and not following the crowd.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a true story. I just want to say my poem. At first, I don't want to say it because all the other kids think it's corny. But then I go up on stage, I say my poem, and I get a standing ovation. Now all the bullies want to say poetry because now I'm the cool guy.
Because it's cool.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then the bullies come up to me, teach me how to do poetry like you. I go, I'm going to teach you, but I ain't going to teach you how to do like me. I do what I do. You can do poetry, but you do what you do.
Yeah.
So I don't want kids to be ashamed of who they are, where they're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I did the kids' book. And I also have, because before music, all I did was read, collect, and draw comic books. So I also have a comic book out. It's called DMC. And it's me in another universe. I'm not a rapper. I'm a superhero, superpowers. So I'm running around fighting the bad guy. So I was telling Wendy, awesome. I gotta go. Every year I go out to the San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. I'll be there this week. Yeah.
That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Let me know.
I'll hook you up. Yeah, Wendy, give them my contacts. Yeah.
I will.
Before music, it was comic books. And then it was rock music, then it was hip hop, and then as you see right now on this screen, about a year ago, because I love sweets.
Yeah.
I love cookies, I love cakes and everything. I started a cookie company. Everybody out there, today we are officially on Amazon. So the name of my company is DMC, which stands for Darryl Makes Cookies. You can go to the website, dmc-cookies.com. You can get it directly from the website. Or today, officially, August 8th, we are officially on Amazon right now. And I did it because I love cookies and I like to do things that make people happy. So I got music, I got comic books, I got kids' books, and I got cookies. And Chris, check it out. Hold up, Chris, you're going to love this. We're working on a protein cookie for the gyms.
Gotta have it.
And I'm gonna have the best tasting protein cookie for people that work out ever.
Well, when you say it with passion like that, it sounds legit.
Hey, yes, I'm gonna make sure it's not gonna taste like chalk. It's not gonna be too sweet. It's not gonna be too hard. It's gonna be the perfect, and it's hard to do, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna be the best tasting protein cookie ever, because my chocolate chip cookies are the coolest cookies, not in the world, but in the universe.
We get to be the first ones to try it, me and Chris. Okay.
Oh man, I got to get some of that.
Yeah. We on Amazon now. We on the DMC-Cookies website, and today we're officially on Amazon. So, like I said,
how long have you been doing the cookies? And
about a year. About a year in. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got on Amazon today. The next thing is to get it in the supermarkets.
Nice.
So that's the next mission.
That's the next step.
Yep, there we go.
I'm gonna have to.
Darryl Makes Cookies, the coolest cookies in the universe.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what's up.
This is a cool website.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight some people, man. See if we can help you get moving even faster.
Yeah, I want to get in. I want to get in supermarkets. I need to be in Ralph's. I need to get in Ralph's. I need to get in all the supermarkets. Kroger, all that. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up.
We'll do whatever we can to help you.
Thank you.
Man. That'd be awesome. And then, I was gonna say also, when did you guys stop touring? Didn't you stop for you? Well, we started and stopped, and then you did another.
Yeah, well, we started. We had stopped. We stopped in the 90s because hip hop had changed. But then when Down with the King came out, we went back on the road. And then in 2001, 2002, we went on tour with Aerosmith.
Okay.
And we did dates with Aerosmith. We took a break because, in the middle of the tour, you take a break, then you go back on the road. But it was while we was on this break when Jay got shot and killed.
Right.
So once Jay got shot and killed, that really stopped us from touring.
Right.
So, after Jay got shot and killed, it was like, we in trouble now because we don't got the band. Like Jay was the whole band for us.
Yeah. And then they found those
Yes. Last year they found the two guys that did it. Two guys, it's always the people closest to you, which is crazy.
Did they know him?
Yes, we grew up with them. Shit. Yes, we grew up with them.
But
it was people that was in Jay house. People that hung around as kids.
I tell that to people. I said, I was around a lot of people when I was coming up. Not everybody had my best interest in heart. Right. And I thought because they're in my house, then under my roof, they eating with me. That don't mean they like you like that.
No,
they might have a whole other thing in their mind about you,
But what's going on? Yeah, for sure. But thank God that the family finally gets closure because it was a mystery.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So once that happened.
And he had something to do with 50 Cent, too, back in the day, didn't
Jay
he?
discovered 50 Cent, yep.
Yeah.
Jay discovered 50 Cent,
No way.
Right.
Yeah. He was helping 50 Cent and,
Because what had happened was when 50 got shot, the label dropped him, and then Dr. Dre was like, you ain't going to mess with that cat. Him and him picked 50 up, and boom, look what happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Do you have your feelers off for upcoming talent? I mean, do you recognize it when you see it?
No, it's funny. It's like you see my shirt. I'm the Doors.
The Doors.
Like,
I know. I love it.
I listen to us people
I'm a big
called
fan.
classic
I'm a big
rock.
fan.
Yeah, the Doors, the Who, Beatles, Rolling Stone. I'm a big classic rocks fan. My playlist is all 60s, 70s, and the grunge.
Hendrix.
Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and all that. I'm a big rock and metal head.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the king of rock. That's why I call myself the king of rock.
I listen to music all the time because my music in my car is constantly stuck to 80s, like 80s hits. And so it's always like Run DMC.
Yeah, the 80s was a great time for music.
It was
Run
the
DMC,
best time.
Run DMC, Bon Jovi,
yes,
Guns N' Roses. Like it was amazing. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince.
Yeah.
Like it was so diverse.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh my gosh. I feel like we could talk to you forever. Can we have you back? And
yes, when my new record drop, I'll come back on.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
When the new record drops, bring me back on.
Okay, well, one thing that I definitely want to do before we like say goodbye to you, I don't want to say goodbye to you, but before we do, I was wondering, and it doesn't have to be relevant to what we've talked about, but what do you think about just dropping a freestyle?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
If I give you,
it'll be relevant. No, I don't need a beat.
Oh, you don't need a beat. I was gonna do the Run DMC instrumentals. No.
No. I got something I want to say.
Let's go.
This goes out to past, present, and future. Every MC in existence. This goes out to anybody that want to call themselves the king of anything. It goes like this. This was inspired by when I met Michael Jackson.
Okay.
It's called Gangster, hard rock, non-stop hip hop. From the corner of the block to the top of the chart. For every race, place, color, country, county, or creed. In all of the places that I emceed. B-boy badness to the highest degree. And there's no hip-hop if it ain't no me. If you're watching TV, be watching for D. They be clocking DMC like they jocking Jay-Z. You can tell by the rhyme that I'm in my prime. Beats to the rhyme when I say this line. D, that's me, the king, the MC. I rock a microphone so thoroughly. I be the king, you could be my queen. I'm not being cocky or even mean, but before the rhyme is over, let me say one thing. Forget Michael Jackson, DMC's the king.
Woo!
That's what's up.
It's funny. Before y'all let me go, we met Michael Jackson 2 times. We was going to record with Michael Jackson.
No.
And people always ask me, what happened? Why you didn't record with Michael? I was always too busy to record with him. But what had happened was when we was ready to record, he was on tour. When Michael was ready, we was on tour. But we met him twice. And I got to hang out with Bubbles the Monkey.
Bubbles the Monkey?
Yeah, it was me, Run J, DJ Hurricane
Bubbles
from the Beastie Boys. And Bubbles the Monkey had on overalls and a hat backwards. And I'll never forget, we had dinner with Michael. We had swordfish, asparagus, brown rice, corn, and I think it was peach pie or apple pie. But we sat there with Michael. He talked about what he wanted to do and everything. He was like, Run DMC, you guys are great, but I don't want, we was going to make, like most people would think we was going to make something that he would make. And he really dug to Walk This Way. But he said, no, we was going to make a song using a track, Chris, like the Peter Piper song. Okay. Now imagine Run DMC and Michael Jackson on a track like that.
Oh man,
it would have been sick. But our schedules never worked out. But it was so cool that we got called from Queens. We flew out to LA. We met him at his studio in Santa Monica because he had a studio in Santa Monica. So I always say that rhyme because when we met Michael, he said to us, "It was so cool that you dissed me in the King of Rock video." Because in the King of Rock video, we step on his glove.
Oh, yeah.
If when you look at the video, remember there's a picture of the Dito on the glove. He knew it wasn't a shot. Yeah. So Michael, he was brilliant. He understood it wasn't a dig at him. He said it was cool how all the people that didn't believe in y'all, that y'all could be legitimately in the music video. He basically said he was flattered that we used him as an example to let people know hip hop could be legit. So shout out to my man Michael Jackson. I'll never forget that, man. But definitely bring me back on. The new record is going to drop at the end of August.
Okay.
All right.
I love how you bond and you settle everything in your music, and I think that's what makes the culture so amazing.
Oh, for sure. Because look, we all in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Anytime.
It's been a great pleasure.
Yes.
This is the place to be, and I am DMC in the place to be.
I want you to. So I you dropped a freestyle, but I want you to have the final words. Like, what would you like to say to your fans and your followers and everyone who just loves you so much?
I just want to say this to everybody that's out there listening. Everybody, sounds cliche, everybody has a superpower. In this day and age, politics and religion is failing us. So what we need is the arts, creativity, physical fitness, and mental health. Those are the things: arts, creativity, physical fitness, and mental health. Who we are individually represents the power that we have together. We have to utilize, if you're a baker, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're a journalist, if you're a storyteller, filmmaker, if you're a writer, if you're a singer, creator, if you're a painter, if you're a builder, we have the ability to bring heaven on earth. When we say we are made in God's image, Barry White said it so clearly. We have the power of life and death. We can kill, we can give birth, and we can create. It's up to us, regardless of what the divisive divisions of status quo and politics and political parties is saying. No, when you look at rock and roll, perfect example, Chris, when you go to a bodybuilding competition and you look at that audience, it's people from every race, religion, creed, and culture globally in the audience. Same thing with a rock concert, same thing when you go to the museum. So we are heaven on earth. Let's come together the same way we came together for this podcast. Let's do more of this in our communities. Then we will have change and victories for everybody. So I just want to end by saying, keep on rocking and rolling and keep on hipping and hopping, because there ain't no stopping till we all okay.
That's right. That's what's up, man.
That is what's up.
That's got to be one of the best ever.
Oh my God. I'm speechless. I have nothing to say. I'm just going to say thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. I want to say goodbye to you on the flip side.
Okay.
To everyone who's watching, thank you all so much. We're definitely going to bring him back. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the flip side.